Working on lunging with Winslow. So I'm going to be sending him off here to my right. So kind of showing the rope positioning here. So we've got like a few feet of rope here. He's pretty centered with me. And then I'm just kind of describing, like I'm going to ask him to go and then use the end of my rope to kind of push him that way. So the pressure is right there on the shoulder. So as soon as he steps over, that was decent timing. Like I released as soon as he stepped over. You can see him go all the way to the end of the lead rope there because he's thinking I'd like to go out that gate that I came in. But yeah, you can see the pre-cue, the sequence of cues. So where I'm pointing up with my lead rope, kind of showing him the direction to go in, and then using the end of my lead rope um, as pressure to motivate him to go forward. So example of negative reinforcement there. So then I'm kind of describing here how to get him to yield his hindquarters. So like you slide down the rope and then you pick it up kind of toward his hip and then swing toward the hip that we already taught with the hindquarter yield. Obviously he doesn't really know how to do this with the lunge or on the lunge. So like he just keeps going. And then to get him to stop, you basically have to stop his front end and then put more pressure on his hind end so that he pushes it away from you. Um, and then you can see how he's stopping here again. His neck's been high pretty much this whole time. And using this negative reinforcement, we have to do a lot of desensitizing because I'm using this end of the lead rope to hit him. So obviously that's going to scare him. So you have to do a lot of that. So now I'm going to ask him to go the other way. So I'm showing him where to go here to the left, push him off to the left, and then tapping him on the shoulder till he goes that way. So good release, lots and lots of pressure that I would not use now. And it looks worse now because this is literally his first session doing this. So um, the goal is going to be later on the cues gets more subtle. So I point up, he goes. But again, it's still not making it anything but negative reinforcement. So here he stopped. He's like, okay, well, I don't really understand. And I need quite a bit of pressure on his shoulders to get him to go forward. So you can see there, like he's really bowing out on that, or bowing out on that side of the circle. He wants to go toward the gate, and then he's just kind of heading the end of the lead rope there. And then again, this is a good example of him not wanting to go like leave the gate. Is he gets stuck on this end, and then he's fine on this side of the circle. So he's going toward the gate. Then he's bowing out, and then he doesn't want to get any further, so he keeps stopping on this side of the circle. So now so see him slow down there? He's thinking about it, even though like every single time I've done this before, I've been punishing him here. And then you can see I'm asking him to yield his hindquarters. He's on that side of the circle where he's trying to go toward the gate. So he's like, well, I'm out of here. I'm trying to get to the gate. And so then again, I pull on him to make it be like, no, you can't go over there. So again, not letting him like have any choice in the matter. I'm going to make him stop and stand here and then desensitize him for some reason. I'm not sure why I'm doing that at this point, but to the rope. But you can see that was a really good example of how the gate interacts with your training, basically using negative reinforcement. That this is a very common scenario with lunging or with riding, where the horse will stop on that backside because he's going away from the gate. Once he kind of gets over that and you've pressured him over that, then he rushes toward the gate and he really gets close to the gate. They might even stop on that side too, and then he kind of goes past and then stops because he doesn't want to go away from it. So that's a really good example of that. But again, like I was saying with the sequencing of cues, it's still negative reinforcement. So you can see him bowing out on this side, bowing out toward the gate. That's a good example of that, again, going this direction. People will be like, oh, well, we're communicating, and you are communicating, that's true, but it's still negative reinforcement. Um, Still some positive punishment in there. Like, that's still what it is. It's the horse. You have to have pressure to motivate the horse to go forward. So like here, he's like got his ears pinned. He has his neck up. He's like, I don't get it. I don't want to go forward. Like he's just really mad. So you can see him backing up, ears pinned, and then he rushes forward, tail swishing, kind of has his butt kind of tucked up underneath, swinging his head around. He's trying to get to the gate. He's just kind of had enough of all of this pressure because it's a lot of pressure. And then there's more pressure. And then he wants to turn and go the other way. Like he doesn't know what it is that I want. I'm not telling him, again, with all these other lessons, what it is that I want. I'm telling him, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And for him specifically, it's very frustrating for him. Other horses, it's very scary. It might also be a little bit scary for him too, um, but specifically frustrating here. So he doesn't want to leave the gate. He's trying to turn back to the gate. I put a ton of pressure on him to straighten him out. Like lots of natural horsemanship, pressure releases. You got to push him to go this way. You got to make him do what you want, that kind of a thing. So, but again, back to the sequencing of cues. Like you can have a trainer who's really good at negative reinforcement, who your cue is like very very subtle, like pick up on the rein or whatever it might be, tiny gentle squeeze with the leg, which is good. But again, there's going to be that threat behind it. That it has to be negative reinforcement. It has to be. So it's, if you don't respond to this light touch of the rein, then there'll be more pressure and more pressure and more pressure until you do it. Or same thing with any other cues, it's going to be more pressure with the leg, kicking with the leg, hitting with the whip, usually is how it goes. But yeah, again, lots of behaviors where he's just very frustrated, high head, pinned back ears, raised neck, very tight, neck's completely upside down, which is not something you want, tail swishing, backing up, very tight and tense, and very unfortunate that we can't see his face, because that would have been a really good indicator of all the other things that he's feeling. But this is an old video, and I didn't have the best camera at the time. So, but all those things are still happening, like wide eyes, tight muzzle, flared nostrils, that kind of a thing. So, but he's showing us with other behaviors exactly how he feels about this. Again, stopping at the gate, he is like, I want to get out of here. I know this is the safe way. Look how much pressure I'm having to use to get him to do that. Like this wins. And then when he does finally go, it's that explosion. It's like, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. And then, oh, okay, I'm going. And then he just busts out there and like runs. And like some horses will pull away. Some horses will kick. Some horses will charge you. Like Winslow is a champ. Like I feel very bad about doing these things to him. But other horses, it could have been much, much worse. I just want to preface that, because there he let me do a lot of things to him other horses would not have done. Unfortunately, he's out of the frame here, but same kind of thing. So it's going to be a little bit opposite. He's running to get to the gate, and then he is not wanting to go past that. It's just going the other direction this way, just like he was doing earlier. So then I have my camera person get a little bit closer so we can actually see him going forward here. So again, lots of tail swishing. He finally is going forward, because again, when we're doing this negative reinforcement, natural horsemanship stuff, it's we knew about the gate. We know that they want to go out the gate. And so they're teaching you to have them work by the gate, to be like, well, it's not as fun as you thought it was over there. But really, it's like, okay, well, now we're making it not fun at all. Like, what was the horse gaining from this interaction, It's because lots of hitting here, like making him go forward to the gate. Again, same thing we saw earlier, getting really stuck going past the gate and then just exploding after it. Lots of body language showing he's very unhappy. Same thing what we saw with the lunging, just going the other way. He'll go forward, then he gets stuck here. I have to put a lot of pressure on him here. And then once he gets to this part, circle, he speeds up, wants to go back to the gate. Then I'm asking him to yield his hindquarters here. See, very high head, kind of that swinging of the head because he thinks I'm going to hit him in the face, basically. But yeah, that neck is very upside down. He's hollowing his back. He's moving unbalanced. And just like we were talking about earlier with the other lessons, he's just kind of like this point, like when I'm hitting him with it, he's just like, oh, I'm not here, not here, not here. And then he just explodes forward. So he's kind of trying to just like pretend that he's not here, like this isn't happening kind of a thing, disassociating a little bit. And he was not a forward horse at all, so that's in play as well. But yeah, more of him looking out the gate, wanting to be somewhere else. So trying to send him the other way. He doesn't know, what this is right now. You'll see, well, I think I have videos of him later on. Yeah, of him actually like lunging. This is his literally first lesson of lunging, so it doesn't look good. If you're doing this and your lunging continues to look like this for a very long time, you're doing something very wrong. I don't advocate for this anymore. Obviously, I'm critiquing myself, and think, saying things that I would do better and change things. but the first lesson is going to look the absolute worst. And then as he progresses through the training, he should go off of just the point. But my main point here is that when I'm picking up that lead rope and asking him to go forward, I'm cueing him, but I'm also saying, okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to smack you with the end of the rope. That's the main thing from this. That's how negative reinforcement works. So you could see him that last pass, like tail swishing, head swishing, not happy about this. Again, really scooting his hind legs over, so nothing mechanically correct here. He's trotting around upside down, so hollowing his back, his neck's raised, he's really tight. When he does yield his hindquarters, he's stepping together. Lots of pulling on the lead rope, so just raising the neck, it's just not good. And then this is just a replay. I couldn't fix that in the video, so it's the same thing. Um, so And then again, he's getting stuck on this side. He doesn't want to leave the gate, and then he'll probably scoot around this side of the circle and go back to the gate here. Doesn't want to go forward there, and then he's faster to the gate, and then slows down. Yep. And then doesn't want to go forward. He doesn't want to go away from the gate. And then I put a bunch of pressure on him, again, away from the gate. So this is just kind of proving to him that he was right. As soon as I get away from that gate, there's more pressure because he's what I'm thinking at this time is when he goes around this circle and he's on the side of the gate, when he's like right here, he's doing what I want. But in his mind, he's like, when I get closer to the gate, the pressure stops. When I get further away from the gate, since he's stopping, he doesn't want to go away from it. He's like, I'd like to go back there. There's more pressure there. So I'm just telling him, yeah, you're right. Like the gate is good. Whenever you go on that side, there's less pressure. So I'm kind of just reinforcing that even more. So I'm asking him to go forward. That one I did not sequence well at all. I just went from pointing just right into smacking him with the rope. So I need to give him more time with that. Better hind quarter yield, but yeah, lots of head raising. He thinks I'm gonna like hit him with the whip, which obviously he would because I have been. But yeah, that sequencing needs to be a lot more subtle. And it can be frustrating, especially in the beginning, but it needs to be, see, too fast. I'm picking up and then I'm swinging right away. It should be picking up, holding, waiting, stepping toward that shoulder, picking up the rope, swinging it gently, waiting, swinging a little bit more, waiting. And then now, like, I'm not doing any escalating pressure. So I would never get to the point of smacking him on the shoulder with the whip. Like that's not something I do anymore. And like there, apparently he was not going forward, so I smacked him with the whip. Now he's just agitated and going forward. And then we have to do all this desensitizing because I've just hit him a whole bunch and chased him with the rope. So, but yeah, watch that sequencing being a lot more gentle, a lot more subtle, to make that negative reinforcement work for both of you because he's not having a good time right now. So again, I need to be slower with that. He's starting to learn that sequence because again, he doesn't want to be smacked on the shoulder with the rope. But I need to be slower with that sequence and take my time with it. So like I'm better with the hindquarter yield. Like I'm allowing him more time with that than I was him going out onto the circle. And especially for his first session, I should be giving him a lot more time to think about it and then get into the lunge in the lunging circle. Again, he's looking out to the gate, looking to the gate. A little bit slower with my sequencing of cues, but I could have been better about it too. Too fast right there. I need to be slower about it. So again, I would have taken my time and just like had him go out on the circle, like pick up my lead rope, take a step toward that left shoulder, swing my rope a little bit, swing a little bit more, and then wait there until he goes out. So none of this hitting and chasing kind of, well, it's still chasing essentially. You're putting pressure and having him go forward, but none of the hitting. I would definitely not do that. But this can make a horse very mad at you very quickly. And that's where you can get the rearing and the charging and lots of bad things. Kicking out at you. Because also I'm telling him here, like, go forward, but then don't go forward because then he hits the end of the line and he can't go forward. So he doesn't understand what I'm asking him here. Lots of tail swishing, tons of tail swishing. That's going to tell you right there that he's not happy about this. Because I'm yielding his hindquarters and he's getting stuck. He wants to go the other way, and then I'm sending him back out. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to do there. Okay, so I'm trying to yield his hindquarters and he's still going forward. So he's getting stuck. Like he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. So I'm not being super clear to him. Unfortunately, this is really far away too. But I think my goal with this right here was, okay, well, I got him away from the gate. And now he can rest over here away from the gate. But like I said earlier, like he had a ton of pressure when he was on the circle away from the gate versus when he was near it. So it takes a lot of repetition to do that. But like, let's look at the root of why he wants to go out the gate in the first place.